here?
Yeah. Yeah, they're watching all the exits. They're checking everyone that leaves. There's no way to get out of here.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be doing a quick review of the movie Trap by M. Night Shyamalan. This stars Josh Harnett, and really the two co-stars you're going to see most is Saleka Shyamalan and Ariel Donogue. I'll get right into if you should watch this. That's going to be the whole point of the start, so if you want to just know the quick information, don't worry, I'm going to give it right to you. My honest opinion is that this is a rental at best. The film does not have rewatchability. It really has a strike a specific mood of being ready to watch something cheesy. So the most common online questions, is this movie scary? No, it is not in any way, shape, or form. Is it suspenseful? Kind of, in terms of the premise of being trapped. This movie really is just a thriller that builds tension, but in a different type of environment, which we'll explain soon. So let us explain why now. This will get into spoilers, and we won't give away the movie's ending, but if you don't want to know how things play out in certain ways, I suggest clicking away now. I will be honest, I knew this was coming in the trailer, so it isn't too much of a spoiler. Alright, ready? Warning, 3, 2, 1. This movie's runtime is around an hour and 45 and really should be cut down. At times the film overstays its welcome by just being a quote-unquote concert, which is the setting of the film, yes, but you'll notice those lulls and where it drags, and it loses all suspense and tension. This movie centers around Josh Harnett's character and the findings of a serial killer and setting them up at a concert to catch them. We'll explain later how later in the film. So it gets into my first problem of the film. Even from the trailers, when the first almost 10 minutes of the film, you see that Josh Harnett is the butcher. So that's not the twist of the film. That's just kind of the setup. So if you go online and see that, don't worry, you're not getting too much spoiled. And even in the trailer, they kind of made that pretty clear. What suspends a disbelief is how many times this individual gets out of multiple scenarios, but how also the incompetency of the team that is trying to catch him. Now, this is a popcorn fun type of movie, but just to kind of tune in for the fact that it's going to get really silly. It's a game of cat and mouse in the whole film that is either you're watching a super genius or just someone who's extremely lucky. In some circumstances, it really is just luck, but it just keeps happening to the point where you have to just say, really? Did that just happen? And it is at times fun, yeah, but it's why it loses that rewatchability or lasting power. Josh Harnett did not do a bad job, it's just the material is a bit thin. You can tell right from the start of the movie that his character is off, which is to set the premise that this is not a normal person. Then when it reveals it so quickly, it all makes sense. We do a natural progression in the story that doesn't bombard you too hard with exposition, which I can really appreciate. This is a nice original story. Josh Harnett is the center focus, and it's hard to say that he could have done more for the role. I feel like that he did it well. It's just really the problem of writing and less on the actors. I mean, I'm okay even with his daughter's performance, Ariel, in the film. You know, she wasn't annoying. She felt great and fit the role really strongly. And even M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, Saleka. In fact, the music was not too off-putting. I really feel the biggest off-putting moment is just the setups and how silly they kind of were, which I guess, again, that could be the charm of the film across the board. I stutter just kind of like, it is charming. It just gets silly. It comes across pretty ambitious as a project and one that may have just required more finesse. That's all. It feels thought out in some ways. I mean, you have to think how to get out, but the suspension of disbelief is just hard, and you need just something else that just makes it feel more grounded. And towards the end of the film, when you watch it, you'll know, you're like, wait a minute, like, come on, like, really? That's a lot of what you'll be saying over and over and over again. I really appreciate what the film is trying to do. It's new and unique, which is hard to say for most movies in the industry. I worry if M. Night Shyamalan was just given more time to keep writing and how quickly these projects could have come together or more efficiently. I feel like the premise was made for an hour film, but then was forced with a longer runtime. Some of that silliness comes into play and wants to be maybe more going into the mental side of what the character was going through, which is slowly revealed. Perhaps that deeper plunge would have really helped round out some other characters and their purpose in the movie. There's one that just never gets clarified, and I think that would have been a better use of the runtime. Again, some characters don't get as much attention, but I also understand the goal of this film. When I originally saw the trailer and premise, it seemed interesting because even though I saw the early twist, I was like, okay, what's actually the twist of this movie? The movie had a budget around $30 million. It was doubled at the box office. So, I mean, it was, I guess you could say it's a success. Overall, it's solid. It's just hard to nitpick when the biggest issues really come to the script and the premise behind it. It's interesting, but that's what the whole movie is basing itself off of, which is this gimmick, which, again, it's done well, just not at a masterful level. So I ask you the question, did you watch Trap? Did you have a similar experience? Let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Oh, also, let me know how you feel about these shorter, quicker reviews. We're kind of thought about shortening them up a little bit rather than having being so long. So let me know. Thank you again, and we'll see you guys all in the next one.